Hi, welcome back for our second part of our series that we sort of launched and touched on last episode around the value of advice and having an advisor and, a trusted confidant that you can call on with any of your sort of financial circumstances or changes in lifestyle. Obviously, episode one had a little bit of a negative connotation to it around some self-managed super fund clients that had unfortunately had a bit of a tough time with not having that relationship or that go-to person. And was sold a bit of a porky there, I think. Pleased this episode to actually have both of us live and on the camera here. As you can probably tell, we're in two very different locations, but with the benefits of technology, we can record this quite seamlessly, I hope. So, welcome, Asha. It's nice to finally have you back on board and able
Thank you.
to do this. I've sort of chucked it a little bit and gone, we just need to get this done. So here's an app that we're using and we're just going to go with it. So it's nice that we can actually get this done because I'm sure everyone's probably getting sick of just seeing my face and hearing my voice on this stuff. So, and obviously leading into this topic in this conversation, it's far more important that people hear from you rather than me, you being the financial planner within the business and, the face of it really. So the one that everyone comes to see and builds that relationship with. So I know it's a topic that's quite close to your heart and has sort of framed a lot of how you've gone through your career and something you've held, quite highly, when it comes to building those relationships and the clients that we choose to work with.
Mhm.
I guess touch on that a little bit. What does the value of an advisor mean to you? And this is probably going to be a little bit self-serving, but I know your favorite topic is talking about yourself, obviously. So
Mhm.
I guess just give us a bit of an insight into what that relationship means to you and how that sort of shapes the way you go about it.
Yeah. I guess that sort of point was highlighted even just this morning with a new client who's come to me and she's gone through a lot of change. I think it can be quite daunting if someone hasn't really had exposure or experience to financial planning. So it's really just that, I guess, that education and baby steps was the term that we sort of use. We, I guess, might have all these amazing strategies because we've got the experience and the qualifications and have obviously evolved over time with what's happening. But for a lot of people, it's such a new experience. So I think that's where we can be that go-to person that you can talk to. There's never a silly question. It's about sort of working with you and what you're comfortable with. It may be that we sort of start with one strategy and then build it up, but I think it's really just that education, that support, working with every individual or situation because no two situations are the same. So I think it's just being that person, that go-to person that someone can have, and the individualized personal side that we can provide to
Yeah,
everyone that we work with.
you touched a couple of
Mm.
what you have had to go through and undertake. Give us the quick rundown on your education background and I guess sort of what you've had to take on and how that's
Mhm.
then in turn developed you as an advisor.
Yeah, well, I guess it's scary. 18 years I've been in this industry now, so which is a long, long time. And even kind of before I officially started, I was studying in financial planning. So I guess my titles behind my name have been long and continuing. So
Yeah, you basically you're trying to accrue every letter in the alphabet across your qualifications on your signature. That's for sure.
yeah, well, I mean, it started back sort of, with the Diploma of Financial Planning. Post that, I'm also a qualified or certified financial planner. So I completed that with Deakin University. I think that was 2015, so a long, long time ago. But in recent times, I actually finished my graduate Diploma of Financial Planning last year. So I've got my graduation ceremony later in the year. But I think it's that continuing education. I mean, we are, like, I guess, legally required to do 50 hours of ongoing study every year to maintain our qualifications and our certification. But I've also done additional study over that period. I do, because I've been around long enough, I do actually meet the experience pathway. But I thought for myself, and for my clients to be able to give you updated information and I guess refresh my knowledge. I also completed the graduate diploma last year, so which is a big
Yeah.
achievement, not just personally, but family. And
Yeah.
yeah, takes a village.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I know you touched on that, the regulatory requirements, I guess,
Mhm,
around, you've got to do 50 hours, which,
mhm,
spread across a year doesn't seem like that much. But,
mm,
I know sort of in the wash, it is
yeah,
probably close to triple that, the time that
mhm,
actually gets put into it around the
yeah,
seminars that
mhm,
perhaps don't count towards those 50 hours, but you're
mm,
still increasing that knowledge and that experience.
mhm,
So yeah, I definitely don't envy you with seeing what you what you've had to go through. So, but the returns is definitely there from that
mhm,
knowledge increased perspective
mm.
and being able to share that with your clients as well.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that I guess clients don't see. I guess we have our annual reviews or our half yearly reviews or phone calls or different things over the year, but there is, as you said, like a lot that goes on behind the scenes. I'm constantly trying to get in front of business development managers for the investments that we invest in or the platforms that we use, going to roadshows or webinars or just really getting in front of as many people as I can so that I can give everyone up-to-date information or overviews of what's happening in markets. Just obviously, it's almost a bit information overload, but I think it's very, very important that I'm the one that sits across the desk from everyone. So I want to be up to date with what's happening because yeah, there's always something happening, but at least if we can relate that back to clients' portfolios and give a bit more understanding of what's happening, then that's a win-win for everyone.
So when we talk about, the value of an advisor and the value of having, an advice practice or,
Mhm.
that expert in your corner there, what
Yeah.
does that, inherently mean to you? And what are the things that you think make that piece important to someone's, life journey really? So
Yeah. I think it's an advocate for all of our clients. So I guess at the end of the day, we want to get you've got goals that you want to achieve. It's about putting those plans in place to get you to those goals. So, I mean, I've helped many, 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 many clients sort of retire, and it doesn't happen overnight. It's sort of years of planning. It's years of getting the right strategies about maximizing how much we put into super, about how much we like look at the tax position. So it's also thinking about the other side, like the beneficiaries. And there's always, yeah, something and there's always changes. So it's just sort of being up to date with that because everyone else has a life. Like you want to focus on enjoying your life and doing what you need to do. So it's about us doing the work behind the scenes, putting all these plans in place. So you don't have to worry about that you can just get on and live your life and know that I guess behind the scenes it's being taken care of.
so you talked about strategies there. So I mean, obviously it's, it is a set and forget thing. So you just put one plan
Mm.
in place really, and then it's done. Your job's done, isn't it?
I wish it was that easy. No, I think, especially I guess with end of financial year coming up, that's a primary example of what we're looking at doing for clients. Like I've got a few clients that have received inheritances or have sold properties or different things. So for them, it's like we can look at what we can do pre June 30 or what we can look at after July 1 to improve their overall wealth position, improve their overall tax position. There's always changes. I mean, legislation's coming in that contribution caps are changing from July 1. So it's starting to have those conversations now. Definitely not a set and forget. There's always something. Life happens. So you have to evolve and you have to, obviously, we look at what happened in the past, but then we also put plans in for the future. And sometimes things could be a couple of years, sometimes things are longer term, but it's all, yeah, it's always constantly reviewed and constantly evolving.
And just as a caveat, obviously, I was being facetious when I said that it's just a set and forget. So you touched on the advocacy piece there. What from a client advisor, relationship, what does
Mm.
advocacy mean to you?
Well, I guess Centrelink is a big one. I'm doing a bit with Centrelink at the moment. So a lot of clients are eligible for maybe a part pension with Centrelink. So it's liaising with them so that clients don't have to. It's liaising with super funds so that we can get things done without clients having to be on the phone or just being sometimes treated as a number on the end of the line. So it's just as it acting on behalf of clients so that they don't have to worry about the nitty-gritty things that sort of go on behind the scenes, even insurance. So if clients need to go through a claim process, like we're the ones liaising with the insurance company because there's often a lot happening that they need to focus on their recovery or health or and the last thing you want to be doing is having to worry about the paperwork or chasing documents or doing those sort of things. So really, we're sort of the intermediary between your super fund or Centrelink or insurance companies so that, as I said, you can just get on and live life.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think from where I sort of sit as well, from it just an advice practice benefit, I see, especially where we've been in the current, geopolitical climate, the last, what are we now, May, the last probably 5 months, it's
First
probably
of
been a
May.
bit, yeah, it's been probably all over the place from the start of the year. What I've seen is a large number of clients really that contact us to go, hey, what's going on? What is happening in the world with my fund, with the markets? And I see that as quite a positive, indictment as us as a business, that clients would prefer to call us to go, what's going on,
Mm,
rather than, the information's at their fingertips anyway. But,
mm, mm,
they would rather come to us to have that reassurance and that perspective because we've spent that time and, built that relationship. So that's just from my perspective. I think that's a
mhm,
really great, as I said, really great indictment for us
mm,
as a business and, and for you as an advisor. So,
mhm,
I did touch on the last episode, as I sort of said at the start, which was a little bit of a negative spin on it around, some self-managed super fund clients that had clicked a link that they've seen on social media and, piled tens of thousands of dollars into this magical fund that was going to, exponentially increase their retirement wealth. And obviously they were sold, a little bit short there. As a professional in this industry, when and that's just one story. We probably
mm,
see a number of them, I guess,
mhm.
come across our desk.
Yeah.
As someone that is such an advocate in the industry, what is how does that make you feel when you see that stuff come up?
Yeah, I guess it tarnishes the people that are doing the right things, which is unfortunate. But I guess it is the old adage, if it sounds too good to be true, then it generally is. I mean, everyone wants to grow their super. They want to get themselves ready for retirement, but you've always got to err on the side of caution. And I think with us, it's really about having that support around us too. We've got our research team in Sydney, and then we've also got research houses. Like a lot of work goes into making sure that the investments that we're using are well researched, well documented. And then obviously I'm going out and meeting with portfolio managers as well, but they're doing that too. So there's a lot more layering. But it also comes down to diversification. It's about the individual portfolio and making sure you're not having all your eggs in one basket. It's about giving you options in your portfolio so you're not heavily allocated to one thing or another. And every situation is different. So it's really just making sure that we're doing the right things for our clients and their situation.
Yeah, definitely. And you summarized that perfectly. Anything from else that you wanted to kind of add to this piece? We've covered quite a bit there, and I think we've definitely explained, I think, as best as we can without being too self-indulgent around the benefits of having, a financial advocate in your corner.
Hmm.
And as
Yeah.
I've sort of said quite often through these pieces,
Hmm.
at the end of the day, I don't care whether you come to our business or you go see another, get some
Mm.
advice. Like
Mhm.
if you're looking
Yeah.
to do something or
Mhm.
you need that, get some
Yeah.
advice because,
Mhm. Yeah.
it's so critically important and
Yeah.
there's so much at risk. And I think in today's day and age where technology is becoming so ingrained in our life and, there's always this, as you said, the next best thing,
Yeah.
and it's not always going to be that perfect recipe. So to
Mhm.
have someone that you can take it to, whether it's you, whether it's someone down the street
Yeah.
that's in an advice practice, it is so critically important to get
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
that feedback and that
Mhm.
impartial perspective on it.
Yeah, I think because everyone's situation is so different as well. I mean, we have obviously our clients that we work with, and we know that from one appointment to the next as well. But I think sometimes you don't know what you don't know. Like, I've definitely had clients that have come in and said to me, like, I didn't think I could do that, or I didn't realize that. So I think there's a lot more opportunities that people might not be aware of that are available to them. So I would always encourage, even if someone thinks they're going down the right path, maybe just get someone, like, have a complimentary meeting or sit down and have a chat and just get someone to have a overview of your situation. You might be doing all of the right things, which is great. But sometimes that's almost that reassurance that yes, you're doing the right things, or maybe there's a couple of things that could be adjusted or put some future plans in place. So I guess you just don't know until you actually review your situation, because from our perspective, we've got a very broad range of clients that we work with. So, and we've used like similar strategy over the years, but then other things do come up. And as I said, legislation or things are constantly evolving, especially with a lot of super changes coming through as well. So the government is definitely scratching the surface of those. So there will potentially be more in the future, or there's a budget coming up this month as well. So we will wait and
Well, and
see.
that's it. Nothing is ever going to be settled in this
No.
industry, and there's always going to be something that is going to be changed, brought in, tweaked, whatever it is. Just a final thought from me. When you said, when you sort of reiterated what I said about seeing someone, Chat GPT doesn't count as that person to go and see. Do not pile your financial information into Chat GPT and go, "Am I
Yes.
doing everything right?"
Yes. Open AI.
Please don't. Please don't. From me, that's all I've got. If there's anything else you wanted to add, Ash,
No, just as I said, just thank you everyone for listening. Yeah, even if you've got any questions, like, please don't hesitate to reach out. Like, there's no silly question. So we'd rather you contact us, email, phone, and reach out than sort of stew over something that, yeah, we can hopefully reduce your stress and, yeah, provide you some reassurance there.
excellent. Thank you so much, and we will see
Yes.
you all soon.
Great. See ya.